Hi, I'm sorry, what is your name again?
Jose.
Jose? Do you know what time you guys are typically vacuuming the hallway? Because it's really loud. It sounds like someone's actually running up and down the hallway. Do you see that?
No.
Yeah, well, I'm in my, and it's really weird because I'm in my room, but someone is running back and forth, and I don't know how you could be running in the rooms.
I don't know.
But it's combined with your vacuuming and running right now.
You can. We have quiet hours.
Yeah, that's 10 to 6. I understand that, but during the day, does that mean that they're allowed to be?
We vacuum during the day before we leave. Well, this is the only time that we get to vacuum after everything is done. So that's, if you would like to know more, like, you can call front desk.
Okay, I was just curious. I'm more so concerned about the running. So is there like any children or anything you see running around while you're out here
I
vacuuming?
didn't hear any running.
Oh, okay, I hear it in the room.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think I talked to you earlier if you're the same person,
Yeah.
but the ongoing running and the banging in the rooms, it's really, really disruptive. And I think it's really weird because there's nobody above me. And I don't know how someone can make noise on the second floor when you
It's
can't
not
touch
your
the
AC?
ceiling. No, I'm pretty sure I'd be aware if it was the AC. Yeah,
Oh,
no, it's
I
not.
wouldn't know.
But I know that he is
Please
engaged in
try
monitoring
calling
the
front
downloading off the internet with regard to the audible activity. I'm sorry?
Probably try calling front desk. I don't know.
And telling them what?
I don't know what you're telling me right now.
That's a working camera right there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if anybody's opening and closing the doors and everything, they would see it on camera. Maybe I can tell the front desk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the only person that has access to our cameras is my manager. She comes in tomorrow.
And what is your manager's name?
Jennifer?
Jennifer? Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay. So this is federal stalking. So what he is engaging in is audible activity, and the entity is engaging in the sound of boom, 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 which is entirely demonic. Combined with this audible activity, the fake sun is over the venue in alignment to my hotel room, and the entity is engaged in an ongoing effort as I download 24 files for July 11th, which I'm going to upload. But I want you to see the pattern of conduct. This is demonic with regard to hearing running. There's no one physically in the hallway. And it's as demonic as this fake sun being here over my window right now. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 4:55, and the audible activity of rumbling and banging, running anywhere in the hotel room. There's nowhere to run really. There's not a lot of space for the running conduct, but it's also audible activity that's impossible to hear. The sound is as though they're in the room running, and it's also occurring while this third party, he's going to federal prison, he's acting with impunity, he's monitoring, and he's engaged in federal stalking. He knows exactly what I'm doing on the internet. And you know all of this about the knowledge and about the criminal conduct, which is also demonic because the fake sun is still here. All right, and again, I'm standing in this parking lot at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm in this same venue and capturing the fake sun through the window of the same address at 9750 at 7:49 in the morning. It's currently 4:56 in the afternoon. The entity is currently engaged in trying to stop. Remember, the elements of monitoring is relevant to not only audible activity, light activity with simultaneity to any move that you make. The sex offender does that when you're physically indisposed in a private space, engaged in any private personal activity. The psychopath does so with regard to knowledge of the fact that you are aware that you're being monitored by demons, and the fact that you are reporting it by publishing it on the internet. The psychopath continuously does it when they're surrounded by the evidence of their demon possession and the evidence that the federal government is going to prosecute them with. Okay, that's a psychopath in the hallway with a vacuum on camera. That all the cameras here is evidence that I'm going to use. It essentially belongs to the federal government. And the entities engaging in this conduct, these vehicles driving in and out, stalking in the parking lot of the Motel 6 in perfect alignment right here in the front. Now they're backing out of their space. That's called stalking in the path with light. One vehicle after another walking across. These are demons who are pacing. This is what you saw San Bernardino County doing when they sounded sirens, and that demon was in the San Bernardino County San Bernardino County police vehicle. And you saw the walking, they were pacing. They were all pacing back and forth. This is what this is. He's in the hallway stalking with a vacuum, which is audible activity, while boom, 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 the sound of somebody running. It's called audible activity, number one. Secondly, it's demonic. Thirdly, it's relevant to what is prosecution. And you're also looking at the progress of the engineered light. Look at the previous video where it was on the floor and on the chair. While the fake sun remains at the same exact location, the engineered light just progresses more and more. At this time, at 4 In the evening, 5 o'clock, I will be stepping out of my leasing office at 5 p.m. and the fake sun is directly over in alignment to my person, like this, but in Los Angeles over building 1802. And then as I would walk to my apartment, the fake sun stayed in alignment with me as I walked to my apartment in building 1806, which is not going to be seen anywhere in Hesperia, over the parking lot in Hesperia, aiming any sunlight in a hotel room in Hesperia. While that's a demon, Jose's going to federal prison, okay? And it's working just like that. He's acting in sync with the demons who are terrorizing by filling my hotel room with impossible audible activity. That's demonic. And you know that it's occurring as opposed to what is supposed to criminally defame the targeted individual. Because of this that I'm documenting, Holiday Inn is going to compensate for this. This is terrorism. This is what the entity engages in. Demons that are targeting you, and they engage in conduct which is supposed to be inexplicable. It's supposed to be that which is occurring to a paranoid schizophrenic who's hallucinating, for example. The entity is engaging in it. It is as demonic as this fake sun being here 8 hours later. I captured it at 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's count together. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 8 hours ago, I stood right out here. And you have the light source that's directly over the roof of this building while I'm standing in this parking lot at the same location. The sun is not a stagnated stationary object such that 8 hours later it would be in this position to be hovering right over my head in the window. It's not just that it's over the property, it's also that it's over me at the property. It's also that it's over me in the same exact position when I am in San Diego, California, when I am in Las Vegas, Nevada, when I am in Alvarado Gardens, downtown Los Angeles, inside of my apartment even, not having ever left. And the entity kept the fake sun over my apartment through the living room window and then through my bedroom window. This is not in alignment to my bedroom window. That's how you know that that's a demon and that's a psychopath. And he's a sex offender, keeping a woman under surveillance, monitoring her when her genitalia is exposed, every moment, everything she's doing, both physically, aware of her status while monitoring her, molesting with engineered light. This is going to be prosecuted as a sex offense, while the impossible light activity continuously because this fake sun is setting in alignment here to be over the Motel 6, right in alignment with me. It stays right here, which is where I was this morning, which is evidence of what is the demonic. A demon using a vacuum, which is audible activity. That's what that is, while present in the hallway, and knows that he's being documented and continues to engage in criminal conduct, which is also sexually violent, and it's also highly psychotic. Having a conversation with a delusional psychopath is a threat to your life. I am doing it because I'm documenting it. Jose is going to federal prison, though. His manager, Jennifer, she's going to federal prison. The surveillance cameras are evidence of this criminal system, and this is evidence relevant to the damages that you're going to be compensated for. The entity that is terrorizing you. This is the sound of demons that are running, doom, 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 and a demon that's using a vacuum, and they're engaged in heavy-duty conduct because I'm currently uploading 24 videos from my Google Drive on which are dated July 11th through the 12th, and I'm going to upload all of them. This is evidence because the entity is going to compensate me. This is what the ordinary target individual is subject to, and they suffer in silence. They suffer in silence. These are the same demons who are molesting you with engineered light. So now I'm in a hotel. Again, the molestation, the targeting with the engineered light, the impossible light activity, the ricochets, that's demonic. Those are demons. And that's an impossible occurrence. It's equally impossible that the fake sun is stationary at one address all day long. It's equally demonic and impossible that this is the occurrence of sunlight. That's not the occurrence of sunlight coming from the alleged sun. Of course, you know that's not the sun, but this isn't even sunlight, and it's unnatural that it's occurring on the inside. Gymnastics, as though the sunlight is coming at a trajectory, this trajectory straight through the window, appearing flat and then progressively moving forward. It's also demonic with regard to those demons who stalk with audible activity, who stalk with engineered light all over you while they're all surrounding you, and they're also engaging in audible activity, which is demonic, and it's occurring inside of this hotel room. And the employees are fully engaged in that pattern of conduct with knowledge and malice and impunity. He's going to be labeled as the sex offender, the violent sex offender, and the terrorist that he is, okay? That's why I'm capturing that, because you need to understand what it looks like, how it operates, and how the government is targeting American citizens who are kidnapped right now, sitting in mental facilities that they do not belong in. And that's why everything that the state of California has engaged in prior to this exposure for engaging in state surveillance, kidnapping American citizens, labeling them as criminals, labeling them as mentally ill, abusing the criminal justice system, abusing, for example, the Welfare and Institutions Code, while psychopaths are keeping them under surveillance, engaging in what is demonic behavior designed to target and psychologically torture. Jose's going to federal prison. I cannot state it enough. I can't stress it enough. This is the P.O.C. and the entity is repeatedly doing that to its own demise. I'm going to drain the pockets. Holiday Inn is a domestic terrorist, and it's not just the fact that the fake sun is over Holiday Inn such that the entity can claim, well, we don't have any control over the environment. We don't know the targeted individual. We're not engaged in any so-called P.O.C. They're engaging in the demonic behavioral pattern. The demonic is occurring in the walls, inside of the venue of the hotel, of the Motel 6. Excuse me, yes, the Motel 6, but I mean the Holiday Inn. And also the people of the state are fully engaged in that pattern of conduct. You saw the engineered light inside of the venue of the Holiday Inn. It is occurring in sync with my movements, which the people of the state are acting in sync with that same demonic environment. They are fully and knowingly and deliberately and ceaselessly engaging in the satanic surveillance system on behalf of the state. And Jose, Marilyn, Carlos, Valerie, they're all going to federal prison. Okay, the manager, Jennifer, she's going to federal prison. She's going from managing a raggedy hotel in Hesperia, California to federal prison. Okay, it is currently 5:03 p.m. This is the Supernatural, and this is not seen in anywhere in Los Angeles. It's right here over this parking lot where you can see the shadow of the tree speaking to the immediacy of this light source. It's directly here where it was rising this morning. And I'm at the same address. This is non-movement. This is a scientific impossibility, and it's also equally demonic that the entity is creating the ongoing sound of someone jogging, running. That's audible activity creation with regard to what the entity is monitoring, because the audible activity, the demonic activity that the entity engages in to monitor you, it also affects the operation of your internet. So that's what they're engaging in, and they're doing it to their own demise. So this is a demon that's stalking using a vacuum, and it's causing for crossing a path while you're using a vacuum, just like the demon is doing mopping in the sunrise, where this engineer light's occurring on the inside, on the opposite side of this building, downstairs where the sun rises. You saw a demon mopping. That's exactly what they're doing with regard to vacuuming. It's causing for pacing. This is what a demon wants to look like. They want to normalize their demonic pacing, their psychotic pacing, while they are group stalking you. And you are clearly seen as a group stalker and a psychopath and a sex offender, all right, and doing so with outright lawlessness while you are monitoring evidence against you. And no one, no person, and certainly no federal court is ignorant about that malice. No one at all is fooled by what this entity is doing. I am advocating on behalf of the ordinary target individual, and you are learning all the ways of the demonic, in order to prosecute that state. And while this entity is foolishly handing me, literally giving me the company, and I don't even want it, just like speaker companies, there's not enough money, there's not enough properties, they don't have enough to compensate for what it engaged in, keeping me under surveillance in the workplace. There is not federal laws that exist in order to place a dollar sign on the level of harms that the ordinary target individual suffers, which I documented it. But justice requires that you approach it. And it will result in what is hefty compensation. This is what Holiday Inn is going to compensate, but it's not just enough that you pay me. They're going to federal prison, and I mean that. They're going to federal prison for that. This is impunity. This impossible light activity, it's impunity. The audible activity creation, the impossible audible activity creation is impunity. The maintenance of the fake sun, it's impunity and malice, and this is the state of California that uses highly unintelligent demons working at a hotel to keep you under surveillance. Okay? That's the likes of the group stalker. That's a threat to your life. Any sort of full criminal, any sort of person having no sort of, the entire population, no matter where they come from, no matter what their background, is engaged in this pattern of conduct. And then you're learning about crimes that are happening on the daily news. You're told about this, and this pattern of conduct is underway. And it's given to you under a narrative, just random crimes occurring in California, based on the neighborhood, based on the racial, socioeconomic construct. This is a system that's underway, and people are losing their lives, and they are subject to crimes again amongst these demons who are targeting them, and the state of California is engaged in it. Okay, and it's given to you right now with regard to what is just the crime rates, crimes that are going on, and federal group stalking and monitoring is not accounted for. It's not included in the discussion. Psychopaths engaging in what are things that the demonic, while they also are engaging in criminal activity, which is not tethered to an ongoing crime that the state, the entity itself is engaged in. So that's just speaking to what is also relevant regarding what I'm documenting, but this is relevant to what is terrorism. Terrorism has a price tag. The entity that's making millions of dollars in the US, group stalking and terrorizing American citizens, there's a hefty price to pay for that. hefty. And in the same way that tort law is designed to punish with regard to American citizens who bring a case against any manufacturer, for example, and you are suffering harms, there are laws that are already in place designed to punish. And that's, again, serving as a deterrent. It is even more so with regard, this is not torches, this is criminal. And this is criminal conduct that the government is engaging in, maliciously through the people of the state, who are making a buck in this country while keeping you under surveillance. That's what Motel 6 represents. That's what Shell gasoline, the 76 gasoline represents. That's what Target and the High Desert Gateway Shopping Center represents. While the sun rises and sets over me and they're right across the street group stalking me while I stay here, and the sound of impossible sound. There's nobody above, and there's no running that would happen on the second floor that's going to create any noise inside of my hotel room. All right? There should not be, and the cameras are speaking to by admission of this demon who's group stalking using a vacuum as audible activity, and the entities engaging in ongoing pacing of sound, the sound of running. This is the reality of the demonic, where I'm prosecuting in the natural, but understand the audible activity is occurring through demonic means. So you are establishing this specific environment, and therein lies the evidence of the evidence of psychological torture through the demonic, through demons who are targeting you, engaging in conduct which is naturally inexplicable. And it is inexplicable to have a fake sun over the address for 12 hours. And you're going to be prosecuted for that. Period. You're going to be prosecuted. This is the evidence of stalking with audible activity. This is the evidence of demonic sounds inside of the room. This is the evidence of demon possession. This is the evidence of group stalking. This is the evidence that the state of California is engaged in criminal surveillance. Literally. That's P.O.C. Jose is a malicious actor, and he's going to federal prison, and his impunity and malice is specifically noted. And it's the same for Jennifer. It's the same for Valerie. It's the same for Carlos, and any of them that are not natural born citizens. They're all going to be shipped out of this country after they go to federal prison, because it is federal policy. You will serve your time in federal prison, and then you're going to be kicked out permanently from this country. You're going to be punished by this country, and then you're going to be kicked out of this country. It is currently 5:09 p.m. when you're looking at the supernatural, the demonic. All right, and this is again 5:09 p.m. and 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm standing in this very parking lot, and this fake sun is still in alignment with my person, just like it was this morning. It's still in alignment with me at the same exact address. That was 8 hours ago. This is P.O.C.